to FS1 college football from Lawrence, Kansas, where a beautiful 60-degree day has given way to a crisp college football night. West Virginia must win to become bowl eligible. They're visitors to the Kansas Jayhawks. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Along with Charles Arbuckle, I'm Guy Haberman, and it's great to have you. Now, don't let those records fool you. Both these teams are playing good football.
Guy, we talked all week, and when you watch film, both of these teams are starting to peak at the right time. They're playing well, and they've had a couple of wins over the last few weeks that have been really key for them having this stretch drive.
Yeah, both teams have used Texas as a bit of a stepping stone. 2 weeks ago, this one caught the college football world by surprise. An overtime touchdown and a two-point conversion made a living legend.
Jared Casey can go anywhere in town and get something free. He can get a sandwich. He can get anything because of that big play there. That
beat Texas in that overtime. And then last week, West Virginia did the same, except without the dramatics, they controlled the whole game.
Daggy was on fire, getting it to his weapons. They played well on defense. A total team win for West Virginia.
Well, Jared Daggy, the veteran for West Virginia, rode that performance to the Big 12's Offensive Player of the Week. And then Jalen Daniels, 7 touchdowns in 2 weeks. He's been on point.
Both guys are playing well, Guy. They're making good decisions, and they're putting their team in position to win, and that's what their coaches want to see tonight.
Jalen Daniels said he wants to win tonight for the seniors, like Nate Betts from Texas and his touchdown partner Kwame Lassiter trying to make one last great memory. Meanwhile, West Virginia has one more game for a chance. Neil Brown and West Virginia must win to head to bowl season for the second year in a row. In his 3rd season, a win would also take his overall record to even at 500. On the other side, Lance Leipold, in his first year here at Kansas, quickly looking like the man reinvigorating Jayhawk football, took over on April 30th, and it feels like his Jayhawks are feeling their best right now at the end of the regular season. Kansas won the coin toss and elected to take the football first. That tells you how good they're feeling on offense.
And their offense is playing really well, and they're starting to really get their stride, Guy. And I think that was the one thing in talking to their staffs this week about how well they feel and how good they feel about this ball club.
Kenny Logan feeling great. Another opportunity for him, the junior from Florida, unfazed by these temperatures. We talked to him pregame. He was bouncing around and ready to roll. Evan Staley, the junior, will kick it away for West Virginia. A must-win game for the Mountaineers. Dreams of bowl season ahead, and Kansas with momentum, trying for one last moment here in 2021. And Logan will take it out to the 24-yard line. A flag is down on the near side of the field, and so we'll quickly get to meet our referee, Tutashinda Salam.
Had a chance to visit with them before the game as well.
He probably thought they wouldn't have much work. These are two of the lightest penalized teams in college football, and certainly in the Big 12.
I think both these staffs understand in order to win, you can't beat yourself. And you're right, they do a nice job of staying away from penalties.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Offside, number 27, kicking team. Holding, number 32, receiving team. The foul's offset. We will replay the kickoff.
Davis Malinger for West Virginia and Dylan Downing. So how often do you see an opening kick with 15 minutes not on the clock?
And Guy, the thing you hate as a kick guy covering like I have for years is when you had these kind of penalties and you had to do it again. Especially the first one. You were so excited about getting the opportunity.
I'll tell you who's not mad about it. Kenny Logan.
Oh, no, he wants another shot at it.
He would love nothing more.
But see, he didn't have to take the wedge busters on if you're the kick return, and he didn't have to be a wedge buster. Oh, man. They really like Kenny Logan and what he brings to the table and how effective he is for this defense, but also in the return game.
All right, one more time on the last Saturday night of the regular season. And this will sail into the end zone. And so Kansas will end up actually gaining about a yard after all of that, because the initial return came out to the 24-yard line. So here's Jalen Daniels, the young man, only been 19 years old for about a month, and it quickly looks like he's the future of Kansas at the quarterback position.
Yeah, we talked about it in the open. He's really played well, made good decisions. You can see the 6 touchdowns to the 1 interception. But I think it's also his ability. If he doesn't see anything, Guy, he will take it and run, but he's also looking to throw the ball if he can in the passing game, even when there's pressure.
He's without Devin Neal, the star true freshman running back, it appears. Amari Pesic-Hickson is getting the start at running back out of the pistol, and it'll be Daniels to throw to Kwame Lassiter on first down, and there is one of the best receivers in the country with the reception. And now a flag comes in late after a 9-yard pickup.
Yeah, it's a lot of emotion. This West Virginia ball club says they have to be physical, and Kansas says they have to match that.
And this crowd has come here tonight. I'm sure a sunny day today. Plenty of folks will outside all day on a Saturday.
The play was over. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 25, defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
That's the true freshman, St. McLeod, looking at 25 in white.
25 in white there. You have to pull up, and he just keeps pushing him way out of bounds. Kwame Lassiter, we're going to call his name a lot. They will get the ball to him. Honorable mention all Big 12 in 2020, and just the team captain this year. A key weapon for this Kansas team.
He's the second receiver at the top of your screen. Jared Casey, the hero 2 weeks ago, is the man that went in motion. Second catch for Lassiter, and they are feeding him on first down. This only a couple yards after an aggressive tackle from a West Virginia secondary that's really been tested the last few weeks.
Yeah, Darryl Porter Jr. did a nice job coming up on that play.
Take a look at the impact players for the Jayhawks when they have the football. Who stands out to you, Charles?
Well, we already called one guy, Kwame Lassiter, has to play well. Hickson also is key because Devin Neal has played so well, and Mike Nowitzki, the center, makes a lot of things happen. He's a Buffalo transfer, Remington Award, preseason list guy that makes a lot of plays for this offense. And
an offensive line that's been so improved this year. They've only allowed 14 sacks on the season. Here's second down and long. Daniels on the move, throws a bullet too low for Lawrence Arnold, who went sliding down just near the 25-yard line, and it's third down and long.
Yeah, Guy, I was going to say, usually when he's on the move, he's pretty effective. Watching him in warm-ups, he really practices it, tries to get the ball out to his receiver, just couldn't quite get it to Arnold, who was open on that play.
This is not where Kansas thrives. Third down, 36% converting third downs this year.
They've gotten better later in the year, but there's stretches where they just struggle with it.
4 wide receivers. Lassiter was the middle receiver to the bottom, and Daniels is going to him, and he's got a first down. Third catch of the drive for Kwame Lassiter, but the ball comes out, and it's recovered by Kansas. Luke Grimm was right there to jump on it.
Johnny on the spot. Lassiter, we said, is going to get a lot of touches, and then that defense for West Virginia is going to be aggressive to the football. But Luke Grimm did a nice job of following up behind your receiver. Watch here, number 11 come into your picture. Kwame Lassiter gets the ball stripped away from him. Nice job there by Chandler Simido. And then watch Luke Grimm coming up with this huge play to keep this drive alive.
Caught it out of the air. So that was a third down conversion for Kansas. Daniels is going to flip it inside to Stephen McBride, and that's well read and denied by Josh Chandler Simido, who you mentioned a moment ago, who's playing very good football of his own right now.
Simido is a double-digit tackler. He will always fly on the football. Talk about impact players. That's one guy you're going to see. 96 tackles coming into today's game. Scotty Young, who is a safety, linebacker, plays 5 different positions, and Sean Mahone, who's starting his 54th game tonight.
That's a West Virginia record. A coach on the field, and he was one of the stars last week against Texas. So after the loss of 1, it's second down and 11. Daniels with time, and that is caught by Jared Casey, who's just been fantastic ever since he became a folk hero 2 weeks ago against Texas. A 19-yard pickup.
Say he won't drop balls, he'll block, and that was a huge example right there on the dig route.
And Kansas trying to go quickly, but we might have a review before that play gets off.
Prior to the ball being snapped, the replay process was initiated. The previous play is under review to determine if the completed catch.
So 2 weeks ago, as Lance Leipold looks on, you saw the highlight a million times, I'm sure.
The celebration was the funniest part.
The celebration. Let's take another look at this, because he has, you're right, proven to be a very good receiver last week as well. And I think that's a catch.
I think so too. It looks like he was able to secure it, get his hands underneath. Look here, you want to make sure you catch the ball cleanly.
No, I take it back.
The ball can touch, but did he have enough of it? And he's rolling over. So here's the thing, guy. Indisputable video evidence. That second look almost looked like he may not have had that.
I agree with you. I thought initially, because you're right, the ball can touch as long as you maintain control, survive the ground, and I think he loses control. That's my vote.
Yeah, the first one, you can see it there, but the second one is even clearer, because see how he has to switch hands with the ball, and usually right away, Alonzo, a guy was like, no, he didn't catch that.
Now again, we're talking here about if and maybe and we think. They've got to know in order to overturn it.
They've got to make it clear and disputable. The replay officials are right next to us, and they came in before. We talked to them every game, and they have to look at this. That is why Kansas was trying to go fast.
Well, while they're doing that, let's point out some oddity of that catch. And then you're right, the celebration with his parents. You probably saw the viral video 2 weeks ago. As we look again at this, the two-point conversion reception by Casey technically does not go down as a catch because it's a two-point conversion, so it did not result in a statistic for him in the box score. But last week, he had 4 catches, including the game-tying touchdown late against TCU, a game they would eventually lose 31-28. But Andy Koltnicki has said, and this is his quote, hand to God, Jared Casey might have the best hands on the team.
He said he can come up with almost anything, and he's a good blocker, but I don't think they're going to give him that one.
And you see his numbers from last week, and he's been starting tonight, which, Trevor Cardell's been hurt. Mason Fairchild got hurt in the TCU game. He returned, but it's been Casey that got the start here.
Yeah. They do a lot of 12 personnel. They're starting to walk that back. They're going to take the catch away. But he's playing a lot because of injuries. And Mason Fairchild was playing well before he got hurt.
After review, the receiver did not maintain firm control of the ball before the ball hit the ground. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass. It's third down.
Well, there is Mom, Karen.
But when he jumped up to celebrate, he got knocked down. That to me made it. They ran all over the field looking for people, and ever since then, when you watch him in the run game, guy, he has been really solid. Not a huge guy. He's undersized, 6 foot, 245, but plays hard and just makes plays, does the dirty work for this Kansas offense.
So instead of a 19-yard pickup, it's a 3rd and 11. Kansas has thrown on all 6 plays of this drive so far, this opening drive of the game. Casey's in the backfield beside Daniels. Quickly, he gets rid of it to Grimm. Trying to find some space, and he's able to wiggle inside the 30. And the question now, is this 4-down territory?
Well, they talked about it. If they could get it close, they were going to go for it on 4th down. They felt comfortable and confident in their offensive line, and they go big package. They'll bring in additional tight ends. Actually, they're going to go for the field goal here.
Yep, the answer to that question is no. You can see 38.5% for Kansas, and they're going up against the second best 4th down defense in the league. And so Jacob Borchilla is on for the field goal attempt of 45 yards. Out of the hold of Reese Vernon, the snap from Luke Hosford. Good snap, on off leg, and he got it. And so Kansas takes the football first after winning the coin toss. They move the ball down the field with a big 3rd down conversion. They bounce back from the catch that was taken away because of replay, and they're off to a great start here on their final game of the season. A 3-0 Kansas lead. So Kansas takes the football first and scores. And now West Virginia will get the football with Tabor Allen kicking away to Winston Wright Jr., who has 2 kickoff return for a touchdown in his career. Say, Charles, I think the day of sun, an easy day to be outside, has led to a fun crowd tonight. And they want to keep this ball away from right, and so it skips by Grayson Malashevich and into the end zone. And that's where he will kneel it down, and that is where West Virginia's offense will begin. The 25 for Jarrett Dagey, the Big 12's Offensive Player of the Week last week.
Yeah, he was on fire. Really played well, and I think when you look at his numbers, 63%, 3 touchdowns, but it was clean, no interceptions. And on the year, there's been some up and down things with him, but when he's played well, it's shown up.
Kansas without its number 4, the running back. West Virginia leaned heavily last week on its number 4 in white, Letty Brown. And he's going to take the first carry of the day, and Malcolm Lee and that Kansas defense got the football. Gavin Potter came out with it, and the officials signal Jayhawk ball.
He never got it clean, guys. It looked like as soon as he was handed the ball, it was just not, it wasn't clean. Letty Brown, watch it, watch the exchange right there. He never gets it cleanly, and he's trying to tuck it away. And right away, Malcolm Lee is able to pounce on him and push the ball away. Malcolm Lee had his first career interception versus West Virginia last year. His first play on defense, a huge one for this Kansas Jayhawk defense.
That's the 18th turnover of the year. West Virginia now -9 on the season. And so the Jayhawks take over with great field position at the 24-yard line. They played such a clean game last week on offense, West Virginia, in that win over Texas.
That was the thing in talking to their coaches. They wanted to make sure they protected the football and got the football away from Kansas.
First carry of the game for Pesic Hickson, and he's through a big hole, bouncing his way for a 13-yard pickup.
Huge block by Jared Casey coming back, usually on a slice block, but he takes it up and almost becomes a back-on-backer. And he can do so much. Watch 47. He's going to come in and just get a huge block in there, and that is what springs this play. Watch right here. Jared Casey, boom, there you go, big man. Make that nice block, and he's able to do that on Scotty Young, who is an undersized linebacker, but a guy that can make plays. Jared Casey with a huge block to spring Pesic Hickson.
Grimm, the man in motion now for Kansas on first down. They can still pick up another. Pesic Hickson that time swallowed up. The first man to drive him back inside there was St. McLeod. No gain.
Yeah, this defense for West Virginia, man, they get salty now. You're going to see a lot of yellow or the gold helmets coming to the football. McLeod being one. We'll call his name some. We'll call Dante Stills. That defensive front, 55, is just a guy that has physical motor. He plays with a motor and active hands on the interior.
This defense third in the Big 12 entering play today, averaging 7 tackles per loss, or 4 loss per game. Pesic Hickson again. And he gets a couple yards. Josh Chandler-Samito there to wrap him up.
What they do, guys, they will do a lot of things. You'll see this offense move guys around, give you some window dressing. Samito is always in the play. He's always going to be around it. It's like a magnet to the football. 5 games this year with double-digit tackles. And the active career leader for West Virginia with 246.
Kansas, who only threw the ball on its first drive, now only running it so far here after taking over following the West Virginia fumble. Daniels, quarterback draw, block from Casey, gets him down to the 3, maybe the 4-yard line is where he stopped. He'll be a couple yards shy of the first down.
This is the versatility of Casey. You can put him all over the field, and then he can become a blocker, and it gives you extra legs with Daniels. They're going to go for this, which I'm not shocked by. The offense is moving well. They have a lot of confidence in what they're doing.
Fourth down and a long 3. They kicked the field goal on the first possession, but they want more.
Kwame Lassiter is in the backfield. Then he gets out of there, just trying to make West Virginia shift and adjust to the 3-by-1.
Daniels under pressure, and he goes down. Sacked in the backfield by Jared Bartlett. and a big fourth down stop. The second best fourth down defense in the league takes over.
That was huge, a huge play, and I think the biggest thing is Daniels never got comfortable with getting the football out.
So after the turnover put Kansas just about in West Virginia's red zone, the defense stands strong, and the Mountaineers. Browns team leads the Big 12 in time of possession nearly 7 minutes in. They've had one play, and it was a fumble. But after a fourth down stop and a sack, which instead of taking over on the 4-yard line, they take over on the 16. West Virginia gets another chance, and they go right back to the ground game with Letty Brown, and this time he amends for the mishandle on the first carry for a big pickup.
Letty Brown has really been running the football effectively, and that offensive line has blocked well for him. You have a guy that's running as hard as he is, 13 total touchdowns, which is 4th in the Big 12.
Second down and short with Winston Wright going in motion. Daigie's going to take a shot down the sideline for Sean Ryan, and he caught it. What a catch. 37 yards.
God, they talked about these guys making plays. 6'3", 198. Sean Ryan will go up and get the ball. Good pass protection. Plenty of time for Daigie. Daigie is going to put that ball up there where his guy can go make a play at the highest point. Really nice job by Sean Ryan of getting up there and making that play.
And that puts them into Kansas territory just like that, setting up that receiver screen for Caden Prather. He breaks a tackle, and Kenny Logan finally has to bring him down with his 100th tackle of the year.
This is the offense that you saw last week. This is how they were playing. They were playing at a high level, really getting the ball out, guys making plays. And Daigie, when he is on, when he's in rhythm, talking to their coordinator, Rod Parker, said that's the one thing we have to do, get the ball out, and our receivers have to go make plays.
So in a flash, West Virginia in the red zone. This is the quarterback keeping it, and Potter chases down Daigie unfooled. We thought we'd see some different things here today, and Potter was ready for that.
Yeah, Potter just flies to the ball. I mean, we saw him last year when they played Texas Tech, same thing. He just, look at that, good recognition, scrape outside, and then go make a play. And then he also has help coming around the edge, too, from Malcolm Lee. Both of those guys well coached. And that's the one thing that Brian Borland, the defensive coordinator, said, hey, these guys are playing hard, but they're playing smart.
What Potter was smart about was that wasn't Daigie, that was Garrett Green. Now Daigie is back into the game, and he hands to Letty Brown, feeling his way, leaping ahead to the 14-yard line.
And you say that about Green. He had a 67-yard run versus TCU and plays a big role, 4 rushing touchdowns on the year.
After the 8-yard pickup, it's 3rd down and long.
Letty Brown just kind of picks his way, guy. He gets behind those offensive linemen and just kind of works his way through. Daigie again, this is where he's thrived the last few weeks.
Most of his yards came on 3rd down against Texas. 3-man rush, plenty of time. Now he lofts it to the front of the end zone. A touchdown for Winston Wright Jr. And West Virginia answers.
Usually the quarterback has a clock in his head, guy, 1,001, 1,002, maybe 3. But that offensive line protected him, and what you have to do as a receiver is stay alive. And Winston Wright did the right thing there. Look at this, all the time, 1,001, 1,002. Look at those guys up front, looking for people to block. There's only 3 rushers, dropping 8, but you lose a guy in that, and Winston Wright for 6.
Casey Legg now for the point after. And so been a lot of action, a fumble and a 4th down stop inside its own 5-yard line, and then West Virginia turned things around. Jared Daigie, 3 for 3 on the drive for 73 yards, including this, the 4th touchdown of the year for Winston Wright. In a must-win game, the Mountaineers now lead. 7-3, West Virginia with the lead after the touchdown from Winston Wright Jr. 6 plays, 84 yards. After a 4th down stop on the other end of the field, it was a quick 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Evan Staley will kick away. Another opportunity for Kenny Logan Jr. And he will take this from the 4-yard line. And he is spun down at the 21. Good coverage from West Virginia. And we go back after the 18-yard return to Jared Dagey. And look at those numbers at the bottom that led to that Offensive Player of the Week award in the league. 290 yards, Charles. 135 of those yards came on 3rd down last week against Texas. And that 14-yard touchdown he just threw on 3rd down.
That's when you know a guy's locked in, guy. I mean, he knows what's happening. That time it was rush 3, drop 8. It's hard to find openings, but Jared Dagey stayed alive, got the ball over to Winston Wright Jr., and they were able to score.
Amari Pesic-Hickson and Jared Casey in the backfield with Jalen Daniels, who whips it out to Kwame Lassiter across the 25-yard line to about the 26. Another pickup for Lassiter. Now has 4 catches today.
That's the thing in warm-ups, watching Jalen Daniels. I love to watch the quarterbacks, and he was really whipping the ball out. But what he's done a much better job of is hold people with his eyes. Start inside and go outside. Or if he has a long throw like that was, get it out there quick.
Starting tight end, normally Mason Fairchild makes his first appearance today. He's at the top of the screen. On 2nd down, he's now coming in motion. Daniels fakes to Pesic-Hickson. With some heat on him, he throws on the run. Too wide. And so now it's 3rd down. You're saying you like, for Daniels, you like you'd say he's got a live arm.
He does have a live arm, but he also looks like he's learning how to control it. Get the ball out, get it where it needs to be. You know, the thing is, it was one of those situations where they're going to continue to play him, and they had a decision to make for a young guy. And he said, "Hey, coach, I'm ready to play. I want to compete." And ever since then, they have really kind of brought him along really nicely.
The plan was to redshirt him, but because of injuries to 2 quarterbacks ahead of him on the depth chart, he had to play. And now he's getting an opportunity to set himself up for next year. Luke Grimm brought it in. What a catch. On 3rd down and 5, 40 yards into Mountaineer territory.
2 defenders around him. Luke Grimm was working on this in warm-ups. This is why receivers come out to go get the ball at the highest point. Tries to hit and get him off of him, but nice job of Luke Grimm going to attack the football. And now they're going fast, getting it out to Jared Casey right after that.
Casey with the reception, and he picks up another 1st down inside the West Virginia 20. A pickup of 13 yards for Casey's first catch of the day.
You're a kid out of Plainville, Kansas, playing for the home state school, beating Texas. Now he's starting to get a little love because guys are getting hurt, and he's getting a chance to play more.
Jackie Matthews injured on the Kansas sideline, the West Virginia cornerback, after the collision, I think, with Casey at the end of that play. You can see him over on the Kansas sideline, and that's why they stopped the play as we take a look back. Look, Jared Casey announced his presence, right, the walk-on, hadn't played a snap. We all know the story in that Texas game, and you can see behind him the injury to Jackie Matthews, but he's proven to be more than a one-hit wonder without question.
He really has, and I think the biggest thing, Matthews, most defenders are going to go low. I mean, that's all they would try to do, and Jared Casey is very well built in his lower half. Let's hope Jackie Matthews is okay. He came up to try to defend that. But for Casey, he has just been playing lights out, especially in the run game. You have a big guy coming at you full speed. You're trying to take him on.
Injured player
Jackie Matthews out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Jackie Matthews.
He gets a hand here as he begins the walk across the field back to the West Virginia sideline. West Virginia last week at home played its final home game of the year, of course, against Texas in front of a great crowd, nearly 50,000 in Morgantown.
When the trainers are saying, "Hey, don't hit him on the head. Let's go pat him on the back."
Brown watching intently. It's been a defense that has been beset by injury, not just at the linebacker position in the secondary.
Had a lot of guys that have been nicked up, and it's kind of, we talked about it even before the game. Some of their key people, Scotty Young having to move to a linebacker position because of that. Let's hope he's okay.
One thing that they want so badly to create some momentum. Neil Brown, he said there's no question. It's a big deal for us to try and get to a bowl game this year after winning one last year for the first time since 2015. And obviously that's not the primary concern right now for Jackie Matthews, but that is what this West Virginia team with Matthews and his teammates are playing so hard for right now.
It gets you extra time to practice and get guys that you want, especially the young players, to understand what they have to do. And having some young guys in this lineup, they haven't probably played as much as you want them to, but you'll get a chance in bowl season to get some more extra practices.
So the result of the play was 13 yards for Jared Casey. The ball right back in West Virginia territory. Remember, this West Virginia team has allowed 101 points in the first quarter. Now 104. That's top 10 the wrong way in the nation. The nation average is about 65 points per game. They've not been a good first quarter team defensively. Two quarterbacks on the field there, and it was Amari Pesic-Hickson that took the ball. The snap go directly to him. There's a lot going on. Jason Bean and Jalen Daniels were both in the game, the two quarterbacks.
And they'll do that from time to time, but it almost looks like that old school play. Watch Pesic-Hickson, and you see Daniels there. He just hands it off.
Yeah. See, that's
snap.
the replay. You can't do the fumble-rooski anymore, but that's
right.
Basically the fumble-rooski. Second down and 9. After that didn't work, Trevor Wilson in motion, and he's going to get the football on the pass from Daniels, and he's dragged down by Sean Mahone. And you said it, and we'll say it again. Lance Leipold, creative, right, for Kansas. On the other side of things, West Virginia, Neil Brown, they're creative on offense.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of different variation with things, and talking to the coordinators for both schools, what do you have to lose? If you're West Virginia, you're trying to get to a bowl game, and if you're Kansas, you want to win.
Remember, Kansas ran a play last week with the tight end Jared Casey lined up, eligible at left tackle. They scored the game-time touchdown on it, and we asked the offensive coordinator, Andy Koltnicki, about it. Here's Daniels on third down to the end zone. Daniels nearly throws an interception, broken up by Darryl Porter. And now fourth down, and here comes the field goal unit. And Andy Koltnicki, when we asked him about that pick, the touchdown last week, as you see the near interception here from Porter, a missed opportunity for him, no doubt. We said, did you get that from Josh McDaniels? He said, no. He said, we got it from Jerry Kill 9 years ago in Minnesota, and then we ran it against him.
That was a funny story, too.
35-yard attempt here for Jacob Borchilla, who's already hit from 45 yards today. And he is 2 for 2. And so Kansas avoids the red zone interception, and that nets 3 points for the Jayhawks. Tradition every college football season, Thanksgiving with your coaches, and there was a lot of food to make. How about being the lineman? Having to cook for the linemen. That was a little table and a lot of big people.
You better have a bunch of food for the linemen to come over. Linebackers will eat too. Banded ends. I love the dog.
That's so great. So many families together, friends together on Thanksgiving, and in so many ways, right, football becomes the family that you got. And so the Thanksgiving for the Mountaineers coming into the last week of the season for them, and they're hoping for one more big meal together, that big bowl banquet that you get when you qualify for the postseason. Back-to-back field goals for the Jayhawks, and really Kansas lucky to have those 3 points after that opportunity for an end zone interception.
Jalen was short on that throw. Unfortunately for him, West Virginia couldn't come up with it.
Letty Brown in the backfield. He already has 3 carries today. Jarrett Dagey 3 for 3 on West Virginia's last drive, a 73-yard scoring drive in terms of his arm. Here comes some pressure on first down, and he beats it very calmly over the middle. He connects with Sean Ryan, 17 yards for his second catch of the night.
They really look like they're getting comfortable, and then they're going to go fast. Right there, Sean Ryan, staple in these RPO games.
Dagey looks one way, fakes, and now throws, I think intentionally incomplete at the feet of Sean Ryan.
He really did. It was almost one of those situations where he had nowhere to go with the football. Kansas had it well defended. Dagey almost like when you're going to first base with the one hopper to get it to the receiver that way and just live to see another day.
Speaking of Dagey and the holidays, he said he has bragging rights over his brother Seth at Christmas now. Seth was 0 for 3 as a member of Texas Tech against Texas. Letty Brown with a big second down carry, and that'll bring up 3rd and 1 after the pickup of 9.
And Jarrett, Bowling Green transfer, and really just getting this offense rolling.
He tried to hurry up and sneak for it.
I hate this sometimes because when you rush this kind of play when you need to get it, you don't put you in 4th down. And Malcolm Lee again, we called his name quite a bit tonight.
So now 4th and less than a yard. Now this is a team that goes for it a ton. They're 65% on 4th down this year. Neil Brown very aggressive.
We talked about the analytics with him, right? He was key on that, saying he started using it more and more. And this is one of those where it's telling him what to do, right?
He gets game reports before every game, and it's dependent not just on the situations. He'll take a timeout here. West Virginia will use its first. It's not just dependent on the situations, it's dependent on the opponent. It's dependent on what he thinks he'll need that week. And I think one thing you hear from coaches all the time, aggression. But you have to act aggressive within the game. You're asking your players to be aggressive.
Yeah, you have to make quantitative situations work for you. And in football, analytics is behind. I mean, baseball is way ahead. You're starting to hear about it in basketball. But football is where you're starting to see it more and more. And he's one of those guys that really buys into it.
One thing that both coaches said to us this week, Neil Brown for West Virginia, but I think the same applied for Lance Leipold, is that they have met before in different uniforms. Lance Leipold, the coach at Buffalo back in 2018, and Neil Brown at Troy, and Troy won in their bowl meeting on 4th and short, and that becomes a first down for Letty Brown with plenty extra. Pick up of 4 yards.
We talked with them also about how much do they want to keep him on a pitch count. He had 33 carries last week, and Letty seemed to be getting better and better as the game went on, so they had to protect him a little bit this week in practice.
Well, Jared Parker, the offensive coordinator, said the plan was to not let anybody touch Letty Brown this week. And they didn't. Those 33 carries, the most for a West Virginia running back since Steve Slayton had 33 back in 2006. Dagey here on first down, whips it out to Winston Wright Jr., who gets away from Potter the first time, but not the second time.
And Potter's like one of those guys that just won't stop, right? You think you got away from him, and he's still there. Like, man, I thought I lost you. Winston Wright Jr. said, okay, I got a nice little catch. I'm going to get some yards. And then Potter says, no. He is not going to let him out of sight.
Well, 1 quarter in the books here on this Saturday night. One very good scoring drive for West Virginia. 1 turnover for the Mountaineers. One that was recovered, in fact, by Gavin Potter. But a 4th down stop, a Luke Grimm catch, and so much has already happened. 3 quarters still ahead. It's 7-6 West Virginia. Just about ready for the start of the second quarter here in Lawrence. A 7-6 West Virginia lead. Letty Brown trying to become a back-to-back 2K rusher. That's only happened 16 other times in West Virginia football history. And he's off to a good start. Almost 5 yards per carry tonight, Charles.
Yeah, he's really run well. And when you think about why this offense has been effective, it's because of his running ability that helps Dagey in the pass game.
West Virginia, a second down to start this second quarter. And Dagey gets it to Letty Brown, who gets whacked immediately by Rich Miller, the Buffalo transfer. A pickup of 4.
Yeah, Rich Miller just had his sights on Letty Brown and was able to just unload on him. But Letty Brown just keeps going along. It never seems to phase him, and he always seems to be falling forward except on that particular hit right there.
And now it's 3rd and 5. Plenty of time on the play clock. Flags fly. Letty Brown is shy of the line to gain, but it looked like West Virginia might have jumped off sides.
Yeah, I think they were a little bit early. Left side of the screen, we'll see. Just a little too quick.
Offside, number 93, defense. The 5-yard penalty reserved for the first down.
That's Sam Burt playing in his final game this year, the super senior.
Yeah, actually, it was the defense that was offside.
Moves the ball to the 36-yard line.
Did I say West Virginia?
I thought it was West Virginia, but Sam Burt
of Kansas, pardon me if I misled you.
No. It just almost looked like the offense was a little bit too early, but hey, West Virginia will take that.
Here comes pressure. It gets picked up. So Dagey thought he had time, and then he got swallowed up by Zion DeBose, the Virginia Tech transfer.
Well, they came with pressure from the side that he could see, but the backside, Zion DeBose was flying up there as well. They couldn't pick up everybody that was coming. You're going to see the rusher, Dagey looking, and all of a sudden, tight end is beat there. Charles Finley can't pick up DeBose on that block, and he's able to sack Dagey for a huge loss.
7 yards backwards, so now 2nd and 17. Dagey steps into this one, and it is caught. Strong hands from Sean Ryan, his 3rd catch of the night, and the 2 of them have had a really high degree of difficulty.
Yeah, he has really just gone and attacked the football. You know, instead of letting the ball get to you, he goes out and attacks it. Ricky Thomas Jr. is right there on him, but watch this play. Dagey sees him, knows where he is, just fires that ball in there, and then he's able to just pluck it out of the air. Now, Ricky Thomas Jr. trying to take it away from him, along with Jason Gilliam, but nice catch by Sean Ryan.
The 10-yard pickup makes it 3rd down and 7. And Letty Brown, and he's going to carry Jason Gilliam to a 1st down. Letty Brown, 10 yards. Remember, last week against Texas, he had 102 yards after contact.
But it's partially because of how he sets up his blockers also, guy. He allows his guys to get in front of him, and watch those 2 blockers, 1, 2, and then he goes. He waits to the point of attack. And sometimes if you're a running back, you rush it, he has that rhythm, and then boom, when he sees the hole, he's through.
A senior from Philadelphia.
That Philadelphia sound.
Yeah, maybe that's...
You know, that music in his head.
Marching.
Ain't no stopping us now.
To 1,000 yards. Here's Letty Brown again. And where it looked like there might be nothing, he gets a push and picks up 5.
I'm telling you, man, it's just that rhythm that he has almost with the music in his head. He'll see somebody and then make them miss, and he's making other people miss as well. And as an offensive lineman or tight end, you love blocking for a guy like this because you know if you just have just enough of that defender, he's going to do the rest with his ability to cut and make people miss. Changing the play, saw something on the sideline to make Dagey say, okay, let's move Letty over here.
Pressure coming again, right up the middle. Hit as he throws, Dagey! It's caught by Winston Wright. Is he inbounds? No. He was bobbling it on his way is the official call. Wright almost had his 2nd touchdown. And Dagey, there's a flag in the backfield. He took a shot because pressure was coming right up the gut. First, let's look at this play with Wright in the end zone.
Wright couldn't quite get it.
No.
Kenny
Left
Logan
was out of bounds
Jr.
when
was
he got
right
control,
there.
yep.
Kenny was disrupting.
The passer, number 98, defense, blow to the head of the quarterback. Half the distance to the goal, automatic 1st down.
That's on Caleb Sampson, if you didn't catch all of that. The call was a unnecessary roughness blow to the head, roughing the passer, excuse me.
He was coming up the middle. That's one of the reasons why they moved Letty Brown over to try to protect on the inside, but they had too many guys and they overwhelmed Zach Frazier along with that interior offensive line. But it was a penalty against Kansas, which was a huge blow and giving West Virginia a first down.
Garrett Green comes into the game at quarterback, replacing Jared Dagey. He's going to keep it. Looking to throw into the flat. It's caught there by Tony Mathis Jr. Steps away from one man, throws another, and he gets down to the 3.
Talk about second and third effort. Man, Tony Mathis Jr. doesn't get a lot of carries. But watch this play. Ball is a little bit behind him. Green kind of gets it back on the backside. But watch this. Stop. Okay, no, you got my foot. No, get off of me. I want to get in for 6. He made every Kansas defender pay when they came up to try to tackle.
Well, he's fresh. That's just, he's only had 37 carries this year, as you said. Dagey back in a quarterback, and Letty Brown as well. This is to Letty Brown. To the pylon, nobody's going to touch him. A flag comes in, but Letty Brown steps into the end zone.
They're going to call out on TJ Banks on the outside, the tight end. He had a handful of jersey. 85, they're going to, it almost looks like that's what has to be on where that flag came in.
There are 2 fouls on the play against the offense. Holding, number 72. That penalty is declined. Holding, number 85. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Yeah, Doug Nestor was one, but 85 was on the edge, and usually you get called as a tight end. 85 right there on the very edge, stop right there. You can see him on the edge of your screen right there holding. And then when you have to disengage and let that guy go. And see, I hated this. When those defensive backs just start throwing their hands up in the air like that, you're like, okay, come on. But he was holding on that one. I got to give, come on, TJ. I would give you credit, but I can't on that one.
Kenny Logan knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he does. Kenny was acting well. I thought he was in Hollywood.
13th play of the drive. It's 2nd and goal. Dagey after the fake with pressure coming, lofts it, end zone right. His 2nd touchdown, or wait, did he not catch it? It comes into the hands of Jason Gilliam, and it's incomplete. Boy, Wright had that, and Gilliam closed fast.
Yeah, Gilliam, I don't know how he got there because it looked like that was a catch. But again, Dagey looking like, oh man, that area right there, he and Winston Wright cannot connect. Just at the last second, he gets the ball up in the air and puts it to where he could. And Gilliam, at the last second, with a huge effort hustle play, breaking up that touchdown.
Wow.
Those are the kind of plays, Guy, that a team, when they're losing, they don't make. But now that this team has had a few wins and starting to try to, play in close games, that's the kind of plays they're starting to make.
Here's Wright. This time he's lunging for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown, West Virginia.
I guess Winston Wright said, look, let's stop going to the corner of the end zone. Take me on a drag and let me beat 3 guys for 6. It was a huge call and got him across the field and just made that play work for him.
14 plays on that drive for the Mountaineers.
You're going to see him drag across your screen, and then he catches that ball, and he's running fast. Look, almost a little bit behind him, but he's still able. Kenny Logan like, no. Oh, man, I let you in for 6. It's good play call by West Virginia after trying to figure out a way to attack this Kansas defense. You run away from them.
All right, this play is going to be reviewed. I think we'll probably be looking at a couple things, right? Was he down? Was he out of bounds? Did he have control of the football when it hit the pylon? Well, that's all part of this. All scoring plays, as you well know by now, are reviewed. And so let's see if he broke the plane of the goal line before his right knee touches down. Or maybe his left knee.
It's a little, from that angle, it's hard because you don't know where the ball is crossing the pylon. And again, this may give us a little bit better picture. Great hustle by Kenny Logan, Jr., who's getting over there and Wright reaching the ball out Does he break the plane there? It kind of looks like it.
I see a little shadow of the football over the white line.
It looks like it's over the white line before that knee goes down. And remember, in college football, you have to have indisputable video evidence, and I think that's a touchdown. I don't know if they can overturn that.
After review, the ruling on the field of a touchdown stands.
You got it. So second touchdown of the day for Winston Wright. Entered play today with 3. He has 2 tonight. And Jared Dagey has continued his hot play, carried over from last week against Texas.
Yeah, he's, just finding weapons and finding the receivers in the right place. But again, I'll say Letty Brown was a key component of that drive, setting up a lot of that scoring for West Virginia.
Casey Legg at the point after. And so West Virginia with a couple of touchdowns in this first half, leading 14-6. 10 minutes and 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. A game West Virginia has to win to get to 6 wins and become bowl eligible. And they've put together some nice drives. Both have resulted in Winston Wright touchdowns. The latest 14 plays, almost 7 minutes. It's the 7th scoring drive this year of at least 14 plays for the Mountaineers.
A healthy dose of Letty Brown to allow Dagey to have time. And real nice play by Tony Mathis also. Doesn't get a lot of touches, but he had a catch and was able to extend that drive even more.
But then Evan Staley, trying to keep it away, or at least keep Kenny Logan in the corner, kicks it out of bounds.
First down.
And so the ball come out to the 35-yard line for the Jayhawks.
Sometimes you're so worried about the return man that you make that mistake. Give some free yards.
An opening possession fumble for West Virginia on the first play of their first drive, but they've answered with back-to-back touchdowns. And so now Jalen Daniels has some work to do. Down 14-6. And he begins with a completion to Stephen McBride, who loses 2 yards.
The pass was complete. Fumble on the play.
Feels like an hour since we've seen Kwame Lassiter, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Called his name quite a bit. Tomato is all over the field. 29 career starts and make it 30. He's just a stat stuffer. 96 tackles coming into today's game. 3 pass breakups, 5 quarterback hurries, 1 forced fumble. All kind of stats each and every week.
Amari Pesic-Hickson threw a big hole on the left side, and he's got a first down across midfield and into Mountaineer territory. Filling in nicely for the injured Devin Neal. A 20-yard pickup for the redshirt freshman.
Watch 47 across your face here, and then boom, that block on the edge is just enough to spring him. Scotty Young coming up from the outside trying to protect, but Jared Casey again with the key block.
5 carries for 36 yards right now for Pesic-Hickson. They're missing Devin Neal, injured against TCU. He himself a true freshman from Lawrence, averaging 4.5 yards a carry. Daniels surveying, throws to Grimm, hits him right between the ones, and Grimm is racing loose into the red zone again, and Kansas on offense is right back to work.
Kansas is really starting to attack you on offense, man. This is nice because they have Casey and Grimm going down the field, and Jalen Daniels looks one way and knows that he has Grimm on that backside, and see Casey coming over. These guys do a really nice job. Their receivers are always downfield blocking. I think Grimm is one of those that you kind of forget about. Kwame Lassiter gets a lot of attention, but he always seems to come up with a nice play every now and then.
Making himself known tonight. That was 36 yards. He already has a 40-yard reception today. That's Casey in motion. Kwame Lassiter's the receiver at the bottom. It's going to be Pesic-Hickson patiently finding a seam for a couple of yards.
Yeah, good penetration by the defense on that side where they were trying to pulled Casey and another offensive lineman, but it was so much pressure coming in. Pesek Hickerson had to slow down, and there was nowhere to go. Cut back on the backside. Good defense by West Virginia.
One thing's clear, Jared Casey's earned the playing time, but they are not healthy right now at tight end with Mason Fairchild and Trevor Cardell.
And I think that's the part that they just have to deal with, but it's allowing them to use a guy like Casey who was just making the most of the opportunity.
Second down for Daniels. Searching for Casey, his second touchdown in as many weeks.
I was getting ready to call a guy because you got 3-by-1 and you just get him in that seam. They love going to the seam route, whoever the tight end is. That's how Mason Fairchild got hurt. And Casey just doing whatever he can. You're going to see 47 get in the screen, and look at that. 3 guys on the outside, they're paying attention, and they almost lose him. Can you lose a guy that get the 2-point conversion to beat Texas and now playing all over the place?
Game-tying touchdown last week after that big 2-point conversion to beat Texas 2 weeks ago. And he's gone from a young man who wasn't ever on the field to a guy they can't play without. Make no mistake, Jared Casey is no one-hit wonder. He's got the Kansas Jayhawks back within one. Jared Casey, man of the hour. Kwame Lassiter just told him. I think he just plugged Applebee's right there, reading his lips.
Oh, man, I love it. You know, that's the beauty of it. Kwame Lassiter has been the key guy, and now Jared Casey's just come on the scene, and he's getting opportunities and making the most of it.
That, by the way, that's senior leadership right there from Kwame Lassiter. He said, hey, Jared, you're on TV. That's awareness. So Casey with the touchdown to pull Kansas within one. 7:26 to go in the second quarter. So after the Kansas touchdown and the kickoff, West Virginia will begin from its own 25-yard line. And Jared Dagey back to work with Tony Mathis Jr. getting the carry and refusing to go down.
Well, you got a Kansas defender that's down. It's like Eddie Wilson, maybe.
It is Eddie Wilson, one of the Buffalo transfers who came over with Lance Leipold.
Mathis just is running with authority, violently.
He's gotten 2 touches, you're right, and he has made everybody tackle him. As they check on Eddie Wilson.
God, when you go back to that touchdown, look at Jared Casey. He's here. He's going to run a seam route right in the middle of the field. Those 3 defenders are kind of occupied on the outside with Kwame Lassiter and others. Jared Casey, only guy that can catch him is the official. He's right here. He's going to catch that ball right in the middle of the field. And my grandfather used to give me cheeseburgers for home runs. He gets cheeseburgers for any catch. I'm sure he's eating a few of them tonight.
He's been wide open the last 2 weeks on touchdowns.
Exactly.
Now the catch he made against Texas, he had 3 people on him. So,
but he
gets
did
a few of these.
What he did on that one, guys, he was able to move around and stay alive, and that's how he got open. That right there was by design, and I like what they're doing to get him open.
I said he had 3 guys on him. It was his own teammates.
Well, initially, there was a linebacker covering him, and he was able to move and slide over and get open.
Good to see Eddie Wilson walk off there, obviously in some pain. A guy who's given so much here this year as a senior after transferring in. I hope that he's all right. A first down run here for Tony Mathis, giving Letty Brown a breather, and they're not missing a step.
No, I think, you know, what you saw from Tony Mathis, he gained some carries by what he was able to do earlier. Letty Brown having 33 last week. As much as they want to continue to use him, they said he's going to be on the pitch count. So this is one of those series where they're going to give Tony Mathis an opportunity.
Here he is again. And he takes a big shot, but not before he picks up 5 more.
Yeah, Kenny Logan Jr. coming up to lay the hammer. That's the one thing they don't want Kenny to be doing as much of, tackling deep. He's a safety. He's got 99 tackles before today's game, had 15 versus TCU. That's too many, but he will do it.
Yeah, Brian Moreland, the defensive coordinator for Kansas, 15 years with Lance Leipold, told us Kenny is our leading tackler. Like you said, Charles, we don't want him to be, but we're also thankful that we have him because it'd be a whole lot worse if he wasn't there. This drive belongs to Tony Mathis right now as he picks up another first out to midfield, a pickup of 8.
Well, they substituted some guys to get some guys out and rotate through. The defense looks like it's getting a little tired, but they're getting attacked on the interior. Stephen Parker was hobbling off on that one, and they bring back in Malcolm Lee, number 99.
Letting Brown back into the game as well as Mathis gets a breather.
Keenan Caldwell from Oak Grove, Louisiana, 97, just checked in.
First down. Daggy. It's deflected, and Letty Brown still catches it. Rich Miller can't believe that he couldn't squeeze it.
I mean, that was right there. You have a chance for a pick, maybe a pick 6, and can't come away with it. But Letty Brown, who has 33 catches on the year, very good receiver and pass protection guy. He's so effective in so many different ways. But if you're Rich Miller, you got to say, golly, that was my interception.
West Virginia's really settled things down here after that scoring drive from Kansas. Play action. Pressure from the backside. Daggy steps away from it, and now he's going to escape the pocket and race for a first down and plenty more all the way down to the 30. Malcolm Lee had him right in his sights, and somehow Daggy got away.
Daggy got away, but down the field, the defensive back got away with one, but Daggy stays alive. Jeremy Webb actually grabs the receiver and doesn't let him keep going down on his route. He gets away with it, but Daggy is able to evade the rush and get the first down.
Winston Wright, who's already caught 2 touchdowns, just re-entered the game. He's in the slot at the bottom of the screen. Back to Letty Brown. Huge hole for Brown. And then he goes right down the middle of the field for another pickup of 13 yards. Kenny Logan Jr. eventually the man who has to make the tackle.
Give some numbers, guy. They spread things out. Look, they have the numbers. All of their offensive linemen able to pick up. Really nice block by Doug Nestor. And then what it does is it forces the safeties and the DBs to come up. That's Kenny Logan, number 1, along with O.J. Burroughs, that has to come up and make a play because of the huge gap and the hole that's created by that offensive line.
8th play of the drive. Letty Brown. And he churns forward. Even the smaller pickups are 4 or 5 yards right now for West Virginia on the ground. That one's 4.
Every time he gets it, it seems like he's falling forward. Malcolm Lee able to make a nice tackle. But Letty Brown, as you said earlier, just he keeps things going. They brought in Tony Mathis Jr., gave him a little bit of a breather, and now he said, oh, okay, I want to get in the scoring zone.
Both of those backs are over 6 yards a carry right now. Letty Brown remains in the game. Daggy rolls, pushed and sacked. Rich Miller with his 2nd sack of the year, and a huge loss for this West Virginia offense. 14-yard sack for Miller.
Great job by the defense of understanding that it was going to be boot action. They start one way. Daggy does a nice job, but look at all these defenders right in his eyes. He can't get the ball out. There's too many guys there for him to even throw, but that's key. Rich Miller, along with his buddies, all gathered to the ball. Kyron Johnson is there. That's reading recognition and understanding what play is going to come.
2nd sack of the night for Kansas. 3rd down and 20.
Daggy
under pressure, and he got hit by Kyron Johnson, playing in his 47th and final career game here at Kansas, and he kept Daggy from throwing an accurate pass.
He was off the ball, guy. They talked about him. He's been quiet tonight, but not that time. On 3rd and long or 2nd and long or whatever long, he's coming off the edge, and he makes it tough on those linemen, especially Brandon Yates, the left tackle.
He said this week he had a conversation with himself a couple of weeks ago, and he said to himself, what are you going to do, Kyron? You going to step up, finish this thing strong?
Look in the mirror, Kyron. What you going to say to yourself? Get after the quarterback, Kyron.
44 yards from leg, and he missed it. And so a drive that had so much promise for West Virginia stalls out, and then leg misses the kick. So Kansas will take over at that spot, down by 1. From West Virginia, Kansas takes over, and they get the ball into the hands of Trevor Wilson, who fumbled the last time he touched it. He picks up 3 yards here. Josh Chandler Samito with the stop, but you can see there Earl Bostic, the left tackle, very slow to rise for Kansas.
Yeah, he's really started at tight end before moving the tackle. It's gotten better. They've really been happy with how he's progressed as a player this year.
They've actually been really happy with both of their tackles. Yeah. Bostic and Cable Dew on the other side, who got his start last year and has been steadily improving. This is a group that has only allowed 14 sacks this year, only 1.27 per game, which is 3rd in the Big 12. Here's what Kansas is thankful for, the areas they emphasize on offense.
Yeah, more physical, falling forward, take care of the football is a real key one for what they said they had to do.
Kwame Lassiter's been a big part of falling forward. This is the quarterback, Jalen Daniels, who gets twisted down by Chandler Samito. No pickup there. And a timeout taken by West Virginia. So while they do that, let's go back to the things that Lance Leipold's been emphasizing.
Well, and to stay coachable was one thing when you have a new staff that comes in and you've got new guys that are here. They've got some Buffalo transfers on offense as well as defense. Trevor Wilson and Mike Nowitzki, and those guys have played a key role in helping them understand what it means to be more physical, what it means to do all these things. And I think that's the one thing that they've said they had to emphasize throughout the year, and it seems like it's starting to happen now.
They didn't show up until April 30th. So this coaching staff did not coach spring ball this year.
That's crazy.
I think of everything that the players, this program's been through, for them to knock off Texas, almost beat TCU, really felt like they were in position. And they've got an opportunity here. But West Virginia just used the timeout to try and preserve some clock here before halftime if they can get a stop on 3rd down and 7. Daniels can't get away from Akeem Mesidor, who caused an interception last week. Here gets a huge sack, and so West Virginia takes its last time out with 1:49 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, big time play, Mesidor. Watch Big 90 get out there and show you this is what a long defensive end can get to it and make Jalen Daniels go down. At closing speed, and then his homeboy Dante Stills there with them. When you get big defensive linemen, when they make plays, you got to get up and celebrate a little bit.
Officials are having a conversation. This will be, though, the first punt of the game from either team, Charles.
Wow. I was just thinking that. We have not had any punts. Offenses have played pretty consistently and pretty well. They've gone for it on a couple occasions or had to kick field goals.
So Reese Vernon, who's been a holder, he's been on the field for that, but has not yet punted today. We'll send this away to Isaiah Estale, and he will fair catch it at the 41-yard line. So a 40-yard punt. Great day so far in college football. Last regular season Saturday of the year. Can you believe that?
It seems to come and go so quick.
Plenty of juice still to squeeze out of it here. Back to the ground game for Letty Brown. And Letty Brown, with no timeouts left, gives West Virginia plenty of time to do whatever they want here. 90 seconds left in the half, a 21-yard pickup.
Guy on the last drive, they went away from the run game. They're going back to it. Let's see if they stick with it.
West Virginia trying to double up. They will get the ball first to start the second half. Daggy complete. That's Sean Ryan, and Sean Ryan is down to the 22-yard line. Another big pickup before Jeremy Webb stops him as the clock ticks towards 1 minute.
Now, Kansas has to call a timeout to resettle. It's 2 big plays back to back by this offense for West Virginia.
Letty Brown in the hunt for back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. is now 9 yards away from 1K.
Said it earlier, Steve Slayton and those offenses were explosive. Neil Brown talked about getting this team consistent and playing like this every single week. They weren't doing this early in the year. They were so up and down. Last few weeks, they've really started to kind of hit their stride. And I think the real key for them is figuring out how to get to the bowl season and how to get that extra work in.
Strained is the word you keep hearing around this program. Strain with physicality. We asked Neil Brown, what does that mean, strain? He said what it means is playing through the whistle. He says you can't play a perfect game, but you can play with perfect effort. After the Kansas timeout to try and catch their breath, back to Letty Brown. And Letty Brown to the 15. Why stop what's working?
Well, they had the right call, too. Gavin Potter is coming in clean, but he's not able to come up with the tackle in the backfield. Letty Brown again, using those legs and that vision to make a nice run.
Daggy over the middle, complete again. Very efficient drive. Potter with the tackle. That's caught by Sam James. Again, West Virginia, no timeouts, so as soon as the chains get set here, clock starts up again. After the first down, 1st and goal. Daggy to Brown, out of the backfield, and he gets tripped up, stays in bounds. Jeremy Webb cut him down.
There's no need to really panic if you're West Virginia. You got plenty of time. You just got to make sure the throws will stay to the outside or you get out of bounds.
Daggy with no timeouts to the end zone. Flag down, caught, touchdown West Virginia. Sam James brings it in.
Or you just throw it to Sam James and he goes and climbs the ladder and gets 6. That's going to be PI, and that's a touchdown for Sam James. That was a nice drive by West Virginia. Number 13 here is just going to make a play right there. Then you scream, nice hit move, nobody on the inside. He attacks the defender's responsibility. He has no chance whatsoever.
They have put together some fantastic drives in this game. And the point after up and good from Casey Legg.
Guy, you always tell guys, like, hey, don't rush your route. This is a perfect example of the quarterback going to the other side, knowing that he has this backside open for him. And what Sam James does a nice job of is attacking O.J. Burrows and then saying, okay, we got this thing. Got the lead again. And I think it was a healthy dose of Letty Brown. And Daggy just taking his time.
3 touchdowns now for the reigning Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. He is 13 of 16 throwing the ball tonight.
Looks like he's trying to win that award again.
And propel this team in the bowl season and earn another game.
Oh, you know, it's interesting to talk to him as well, Guy, of the staff about is he coming back. That's the one thing that Neil Brown said, hey, I tell guys they can walk or whatever, we'll have that conversation after the season. The way he's playing right now, you might want him back.
Especially if they delay the end of the season at this rate.
Exactly.
So a great drive from West Virginia with no timeouts there. They used them on defense to get the ball back from Kansas and executed that perfectly. So Casey Legg, Tyler Sumter rather, the wind has really started to blow, and that is what affected that kickoff right there. So Casey Legg will tee it back up.
When you and I were on the field before the game, it seems like that wind can whip in on that open side, and it is windy. It is picked up.
So after Evan Staley kicked it out of bounds the last time, Legg gets the assignment to squib it down the middle of the field. And so 16 seconds left here, and Kansas coming out. Do you try anything with 2 timeouts?
It'll be interesting to see what they do. I don't know if they want to have an opportunity where this ball can go the other way and turn it over. Probably something safe. Come back and hope your defense can hold this West Virginia offense, which is really starting to click.
Got at the 25-yard line. Again, West Virginia will get the ball first in the second half. Kansas won the opening toss and took the ball. Here's Amari Pesic-Hickson with the Mountaineers trying to rip the football out. And it looks like Kansas will be content to head to the locker room with a 7-point deficit. So, Lance Leipold wrapping up year number 1 here at Kansas. A deficit to deal with. West Virginia needs a win to become bowl eligible. We'll send you to the State Farm halftime in LA coming up. Third quarter, a game West Virginia has to win if they want to become bowl eligible, but they've gotten resistance from the Kansas Jayhawks tonight, Charles Arbuckle. So far, Kwame Lassiter, he was the steady early man for Kansas on the first drive. It led to a field goal, but then on their next drive, a 4th down sack, and West Virginia took the football, and then they fed Letty Brown.
Yeah, Letty Brown, like we said, was running with rhythm, running with authority, running through people, and that allowed you to get Winston Wright open for 6. And then
Twice.
Again, yeah, look on that drag route coming across 3 defenders trying to catch him. Kenny Logan just couldn't quite get there. And then Casey wide open in the middle of the field. They just found this guy. How can you lose 47? And then again, a nice, just easy throw and catch from Daggy to Sam James for 6.
That was after West Virginia drove about 55 yards with no timeouts left. 261 yards of total offense for West Virginia, who fumbled on the first offensive play of the game, but they've really responded. 3 of 5 on 3rd down. Good on 3rd down, just as they were last week in the win over Texas.
That was the one thing they said they had to focus on and improve. And during the season, they have gotten better and better. And late, they have just been lights out on 3rd down.
Kansas won the opening toss of the game and took the football. So West Virginia gets the ball here to start the second half. Tabor Allen to kick it away to Winston Wright, who has made his presence felt tonight with those 2 touchdowns. And so a West Virginia offense that had found its flow last week against Texas. And Jared Daggy, the Big 12's Offensive Player of the Week last week, is gunning for the award again. He's 13 of 16 for 157 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah, you can tell he's comfortable. He's really finding the receivers. Receivers are making themselves available too and making plays when they get an opportunity. Said they were going to spread the ball around, which they've done. They've got it to the different weapons, and clearly those guys are pining for an opportunity to make a play.
But why overcomplicate it? Letty Brown picks up 2 yards, make it 3, and Letty Brown gets a hug because he's now a 1,000-yard rusher for the 2nd year in a row, the 17th player to do that at West Virginia. Back-to-back 1K, that's pretty special.
Yeah, your offensive linemen have to be the happiest, whether Zach Frazier, Doug Nestor, James Miter, and Brandon Yates. They don't get called often, but they are really blocking well for Letty Brown.
He's been moving forward all night long, and here he is again. Powerful, but only a yard or 2. And so a 3rd down and about 5, maybe a long 5 coming up here for West Virginia.
Gavin Potter with a huge play and almost not a tackle for loss, but he caught Letty in the backfield.
So Letty Brown back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He's going to go to the bench, maybe a little shaken up. Gavin Potter had a good first half for this Kansas defense. And they've got a chance here to force a 3 and out of the locker room. Daggy to throw, and that ball is incomplete. Batted at the line of scrimmage, and a good pressure from Caleb Sampson in that Kansas defense.
Yeah, when your defensive lineman can't get there, watch 98. Right there, you're going to see him put that big hand up. Wave your hands in the air. You got a block party here if you're 98 Caleb Sampson.
So the first punt of the game for Kansas came on its last possession of the first half, and now the first punt of the game for West Virginia comes to start the second. Tyler Sumter to send it away to Kwame Lassiter, a dangerous return man. And he takes this line drive kick and finds a seam and gets across midfield. Kwame Lassiter, a return of 37 yards. Pardon me, 37 on the kick, 20 on the return.
Kind of chilled a little bit, guy, and then just put it in the overdrive. Well, I mean, he is able to just stop right here and just show, boom, okay, and get right through those guys. And Lassiter, he does this when he catches footballs, but he also is good in the return game. You got to guard against him. You have 4 guys in position, and it's almost like getting him in a walk-in closet, but he's going to get out dressed and ready to go to make the next play.
So, good field position for Jalen Daniels after the defense forces a 3-and-out. And he's going to throw on first down. Jared Casey with the block. Daniels heaves, and it's just behind Trevor Wilson.
Pressure was coming after him. He had no time on that. I don't know, and I say it again, his arm is live. That ball gets out of there quickly.
Been 19 years old, less than a month.
He's trying to get it to Trevor Wilson, can't quite get it there. A little bit behind him. Darryl Porter Jr. chasing him.
Every bit of experience so valuable for Jalen Daniels, who was the youngest quarterback to ever start at Kansas last year when he started 3 games at 17 years old. Amari Pesic-Hickson has carried the load today for the Jayhawks because they're without Devin Neal, who was injured against TCU last week, their star freshman running back.
Pesic-Hickson is finding the ability to find that hole. You're going to see him. He's going to start and then just work his way up there. But the hole closes quickly, and you can see the blocking here. He's trying to get there. That defense is going to just rally around him and make the tackle.
And so 3rd down now for Kansas, a 3rd and 7. Empty backfield for Daniels. And that was maybe a little bit of miscommunication. What happened there with Lawrence Arnold?
Yeah, it looks like he was thinking Arnold was going to go out. Arnold decided to stay in, and they weren't on the same page. Kind of no man's land here. They're keeping the offense out there. It's too far for a field goal. And clearly, they're not thinking of punting here.
Nothing to lose,
Nothing to lose.
4th and 7. They need the 36. Pesic-Hickson is the back. Wilson the man in motion. It goes direct snap to Wilson, and he's going to punt it. And that will not check up for him. And it bounds into the end zone. So, a touchback for West Virginia, 43 on that punt from the receiver, Trevor Wilson. For Jim Harbaugh, snapping the 5-game losing streak for him and the 8-game losing streak against Ohio State. What a scene on Fox that was this morning.
Big win for Wolverines.
So after the pooch punt touchback by Kansas, Gavin Potter picks off Jared Dagey, and he takes it back. A pick 6.
Huge play by Gavin Potter. Able to read that, recognize it, and go after it and take it into the house. Dagey has been getting away with those slants and getting those balls across the middle of the field. That time, Gavin Potter with the huge recognition and turning that around. Watch 19 there. He's going to see his eyes and go right to it. He knows that was huge recognition by Gavin Potter. And they're going to go for 2 here. I don't know the dance, but I know he scored.
And so now they're going to try and tie the game. Gavin Potter's first interception, the junior from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
They'll move guys around and try to make the defense recognize and then go back here.
Daniels throws it back to Nick Malone. A flag is down on the play. Earl Bostic Jr. on the trick play score to convert, but let's check on this penalty.
You have to declare as that guy, and they're trying to make sure that he did that. And they're saying it's against Kansas.
Personal foul, roughing the pass, number 19, defense. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. The try was successful.
So Earl Bostic Jr. gets his moment. 2 weeks ago, a 2-point conversion to a man who had never played a snap before, and today to the left tackle, the former tight end, and you could only imagine how many times he's asked for that.
How many times is he gonna go down? Earl, stay up, man. Stay up.
Gavin Potter with the pick six and Earl Bostic with the 2-point play. Here first is the interception return after this West Virginia passing game was rolling.
Yeah, it was moving. Gavin Potter recognizing that and just getting after it. And then Bostic is eligible. He goes back, has his guys in front of him, doesn't need them. Earl saying, hey, look, I played tight end before. I can score. Showing some athleticism, big 68.
Wow.
And the celebration with the big lineman. You know, had to go up to his highest point. Look at Kwame Lassiter, the happiest one. It's a huge turn of events because this, like you said, this West Virginia.
Pass is under further review.
And that's the key. It has to be backwards for the big lineman. And is it? He's on the 10 when he releases the ball. He frees it right there. You can see. Let it go, and you'll see. Earl is behind that. Clearly, he's at the 9, almost 9.5. So it looks like it's a legal pass.
I mean, they're reviewing it right now.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, parallel is not backwards.
That's a good point.
Parallel is not forwards, but it's not backwards.
We said that we would see these kind of plays. They were going to pull out all stops.
Well, give Kansas this credit. We'll see the result here. But the stuff they try, by and large, works.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The pass was backwards. The try is interception.
So Earl Bostic Jr. gets the 2-pointer. The redshirt senior from Barnwell, South Carolina on senior day. And now we can party.
And they get everybody involved.
We got a tie game here in Lawrence. Moments ago, after Earl Bostic Jr. caught the 2-point conversion, he gets welcomed to the club by Jared Casey, who caught the big 2-pointer a couple weeks ago against Texas. The 2-point crew right there, a left tackle, and at the time, an unused tight end. But Jared Casey has scored a touchdown tonight, a senior on the left, a freshman on the right. And Andy Koltnicki, offensive coordinator for Kansas, pulling out all the stops.
He really is. I mean, he's calling some good plays. These guys are getting involved, and we talked about it. Understanding how to utilize these guys after not having a spring practice.
So 21-21 after the interception return for a touchdown by Gavin Potter, and then the 2-point play to the left tackle.
And Guy, you said it best. This West Virginia offense at the end of the half was really rolling, and you needed something if you got a 3 and out, then you come back the next drive and get that pick 6. The adjustments that are made at halftime have paid off very well for the first 2 drives of this second half for this Kansas defense.
So how does West Virginia respond now? They've got to win today to become bowl eligible. They go back to Letty Brown, who's done such a good job tonight of settling things down when they've needed him. That's his 15th carry of the game. Gavin Potter's had a very good game tonight.
Oh yeah, sack here. Just really hustling outside with Green, who's the running quarterback, and then the fumble recovery, and then the touchdown. Great eyes, and gets there for 6.
Meanwhile, as we were watching Gavin Potter dance, West Virginia with a first down carry to Brown. And so that moves the chains for the Mountaineers.
I think this is a healthy dose of Letty Brown to calm this West Virginia offense down.
Back to him again, following a block, and is able to just feel his way forward for 4 yards.
You know, the younger backs have really learned how to have the Le'Veon Bell effect, but I still think Brown is more explosive when he decides to make his cuts. But he waits to the right time, and as soon as it gets there, he's taken off.
He gets a rest after 3 straight carries, and Tony Mathis comes into the game to take the handoff, and Gavin Potter is right there to drop him for a loss of 2.
And that was initial defender there before Potter, and Potter just cleans it up. He is seeing it right now. He's on the other side as well as Letty Brown is running. Gavin Potter is recognizing when he can make plays in the backfield, interceptions, just doing it all right now for this defense.
So 3rd and 8 now for West Virginia, who's not thrown on this drive yet. Mathis remains in the game. 4-man pressure. Daggy steps up and he throws complete. That was shy of the stick. I believe we'll see the forward progress is going to be very close. On the far side of the field, the official side, it looks like they're giving Sean Ryan the line to gain. You could see there Jeremy Webb holding up the fist. He disagreed, but I think he got there, Charles.
Yeah, he's going to catch the ball, and I think they're going to give him, it might be right out of our screen, but you'll see it there. He catches it. I thought he was a little short, even with the catch.
Well, and it wasn't forward progress because he didn't get hit at the line, right? He took the step forward, and then he got hit.
And that's why the initial eye, it looked like he did not get the first down.
Yeah, I think you're right. If he had been hit at the stick, or if he had been hit as soon as he caught it, then I think he gets the first down.
He goes back a step or two, and then Jeremy Webb closes. You'll see him catch the ball. Yeah, like right here in the line.
Let's see how straight of a line you can draw.
That's as straight as I can go, but he's catching it on the other side of the line, and then he's pushed back.
Yeah, I think he's short.
Yeah, I thought he was a yard short when you looked at it. And me drawing that line made him say they had, hey, got to give him 1 yard.
Remember, Charles's line is not official.
After review, the receiver's forward progress was stopped short of the line to gain. The ball will be placed at the 47-yard line, 4th down.
Straight line or not, I knew from the naked eye where we sit right here, right in front of our vantage point, he was short.
Neil Brown loves going for 4th downs. He wouldn't dare do it right here, would he?
I don't know. I think he might. I'm getting the sense that whatever his analytics tell him, I see the offense on one side, special teams is waiting to go. I see offensive players coming out. Brandon Yates in the offensive line. I say they're going to go for it.
He is. They convert 65% of their 4th downs. From their own 47, need a yard. Letty Brown back into the game. Daggy, the quarterback, gives it to him, and Letty Brown burrows forward, and it looks like he has it.
And that's the thing that Letty Brown does so well. You talk about falling forward. Doesn't have a lot of negative yards and makes a lot of people miss. He keeps holding the stomach, though, going to the sideline.
We saw that after the 3rd carry of the drive when he went out. 33 carries last week, 18 carries tonight, and 3 receptions. So after the 4th down conversion at their own 47, and you get a lot of the same results here with Tony Mathis tonight. 5 yards there for him, and he's around 5 yards a carry.
It's demoralizing for a defense. Every time a guy gets the ball, 5 yards, puts you ahead of the chains. And then sometimes they'll break off a 13, 14, 15-yard run.
Back-to-back 100-yard games. The 3rd time he's done it against Kansas. He went for 195 against the Jayhawks last year. Speaking of Brown, as Mathis continues to run effectively. Nate Betts there, the senior on the tackle, but another 3rd down now.
And by design, they move everybody as its offensive line to the right, and that allows Mathis to be able to cut back. And then you have a fresh Letty Brown after a little quick break.
9th play of the drive upcoming. They need the 42. The tight end Reese Smith goes in motion, back to Letty Brown. He bounces off a man, and he's into space. Letty Brown weaving his way, and he scores another West Virginia touchdown. 44 yards.
Well, I can see why he got that East-West Shrine game invite. But I understand this offensive line just does things effectively for Letty Brown, and he follows. I mean, he's going to just get there. The hole opens up. He has a guy to make miss, and then he does. This is why he's so effective. And then the blocking on his knees. Zach Frazier, the center, 54. And then you got blocking downfield, because you know if you get a block, Letty Brown's usually going to follow you for 6.
Casey Legg on for the point after he's got it. And so West Virginia with a 4th down conversion at its own 47-yard line. They reestablish the run. 9 plays, 8 rushes, and the lead. A 9-play, 75-yard drive capped by the Letty Brown 44-yard rushing touchdown. This is a guy who was dominant last week against Texas, and you see today 156 yards, 8.2 yards per carry.
Yeah, guy, every time he touches the ball, it could go for a home run. You know it's going to go for some yardage. And that drive, they said, okay, look, we are not going to get away from our bread and butter, which is Letty Brown.
A short kick taken by Kansas out to about the 32-yard line. Kyler Pearson, the man who returned it. So West Virginia, with that bowl eligibility on the line, has scored touchdowns following each of its 2 turnovers tonight.
The sign of a good team when you're starting to figure out, okay, how do I make amends for a mistake? And that time they took the ball away from Dakey and just said, look, we're going to run this football, and Kansas, can you stop it?
So now here comes this offense that has not completed a pass in this 3rd quarter. 0 for 2 is Jalen Daniels. Mason Fairchild, the tight end, back into the game. And Daniels throws complete to Kwame Lassiter, but he gets cut down after a pickup of 5 yards by Darrell Porter Jr.
Darrell Porter Jr. was right on it. He played that effectively, and they go with, he moves over to the other side. Phil versus boundary corner. He popped right up, made the tackle, and said, okay, let me get to my spot.
All right, I'm supposed to go over there now. And so now Charles Woods gets the assignment at the top, although Lassiter now goes in motion. This is Stephen McBride with some blocking. He gets close to that 1st down, right at the line to gain before he gets shoved backwards by Alonzo Adai. That catch 2 plays ago by Kwame Lassiter was his first since the 1st quarter, and then he and Grimm are out there blocking here. And he did get the line to gain, McBride. So 1st down and 10.
Good job of rallying to the football. Sean Mahone hadn't called his name a whole lot, but a guy that had a chance to stick around and got his MBA, working maybe even on his PhD.
Here's Daniels, long throw to Lassiter. Did he scoop it up? He did. 2nd catch of the drive for Kwame Lassiter. 6th catch of the day.
And Guy, you said it best. It almost looks like a dangerous throw. Gets it out there. The defender is coming up. They want to look at that.
7-yard
They
pickup.
better snap that quick, because it looked like the nose of the ball touched the ground. Surprised the coaches up top didn't make a let them go downstairs.
Might just be hard to tell too on that play.
Yeah,
But we're gonna
Penalty flags on the
we have
play.
flags, not stoppages for replay.
Number 54, offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's Michael Ford, the right guard, who along with Mike Nowitzki, the center who we mentioned, that's such a big part of bolstering this line. The transfers from Buffalo.
2nd and 8.
There's the right guard there.
Oh, got us going a little bit. 54.
Is that football's version of ball don't lie?
Yeah, you try to hide, you try to hold your water.
So now 2nd down and 8. Pesic Hickson. Not much space. I mean, Scotty Young right there played every snap last week. He won the Blue Collar Award for the West Virginia defense. They give out awards internally, of course, and they have a Blue Collar Award. And Scotty Young got that because he played all 59 snaps last week at will linebacker after a week of practice from his safety position.
And his versatility has really helped this defense. They can use him in so many different ways. Forced to play about 5 different positions so far this season.
Whoop.
Taj Lawson.
Oh, he doesn't.
He doesn't even try to get back.
Number 12, defense. In the neutral zone, call for an offensive reaction. 5-yard penalty, third down.
The good news for him, and he goes and does the punishment push-ups, is that it's not an automatic first down. Watch him.
He knew it. Oh, man.
Kansas breaks the huddle quickly on 3rd and 1, gives it to Amari Pesic-Hickson, and he got stopped. First man there was St. McLeod, the true freshman. And it looks like it's going to be 4th and less than a yard now.
He didn't get there. A bunch of defenders waiting on him.
Well, West Virginia went for it from their own 47 on 4th and 1 on the previous drive. Just across midfield. Remember, Kansas had a 4th and short early in the game, 4th and 2, and they got sacked for a big loss. Jared Casey, the tight end, lines up at fullback. Daniels is going to take it, and he's short.
He didn't get it.
He didn't get there. He tried to spin and follow Casey, and Akeem Messidor blew that play up.
Huge play by Messidor. A defensive front, 2 plays in a row. Showed up. They come out quick. Watch 90. He's going to play a pivotal role. They're not worried so much about all of the real quick, but watch 90 on the edge. Push down and then right there. That's a huge play by Messidor. Look at him. He has contained, and he's able to get rid of the alignment and then go down and make a play. And also, you have to give credit to Scotty Young on the outside of taking on that block by Casey and kind of compressing the hole.
Big moment in this game now is West Virginia has an opportunity to make it a 2-score game. And the way they've been running the ball, why do anything else? Tony Mathis Jr. with the pickup of 8 yards on 1st down.
Don't get too smart. Like my coach used to say, don't get too cute. Just do what you do well.
Now 9 of their last 10 plays have been run plays.
Yeah, everybody in the stadium knows it's coming, but it's been hard to stop.
Make it 10 of the last 11. And it's a 1st down for Tony Mathis.
God, this is where your offensive linemen love it, right? They just know, okay, we're going to come off and we're going to put guys on skates, and it stops the Gavin Potters and the Rich Millers of coming up. Is forcing Kenny Logan Jr. to have to make more tackles from his secondary position.
It's a good recipe for Neil Brown.
Oh, yeah. It's a good recipe for a lot of coaches.
Yeah.
Getting enamored with their pass. If you can run the football, why don't you?
Mathis. They've now run 12 plays since the interception.
Yep.
And only one of them's been a pass.
And I think part of it is they know that they can run the football. They've shown it all game long, whether it's Mathis or Letty Brown. And it's giving Letty a chance to rest, and you don't want a healthy Letty Brown.
When you take out the sacks, they're almost 7 yards a carry. Daggy to throw, and that is complete. 2 yards shy of the sticks to Isaiah Isdale, his first reception tonight.
But even when they're passing the football, it's quick hitters. Go back like a quick hook, and all of the compression of the defense now is in the interior because they've run the ball so effectively.
3rd down and short. Back to Mathis. And he got the 1st down to the 25-yard line.
Tony Mathis carried the ball.
This defense has been challenged, and they can't get different guys rotating on the field. The defensive line is getting pressed, and they're starting to creep up. This is where you have a chance for a home run ball if you don't decide to run.
Would that be greedy or creative?
A little bit of both. Creative greed.
Creative when it works, greedy when it doesn't. Daggy's going to keep it, and he's got some space here. Kenny Logan is there after a 4-yard pickup to toss him down. Kenny Logan had a lot of work last week tackling quarterbacks because Max Dugan for TCU runs a lot.
Oh, yes, he does.
And Kenny had to take him on. Although, I talked to him before the game, he was still buzzing from the meeting last Friday night when Aqib Talib, the former Kansas great, came and spoke to the team before the TCU game, and Kenny got a photo with him. And I think he really admires the competitiveness that the former Jayhawk played with. You see it in Kenny Logan all the time. Mathis escapes one man, but he can't get away from the left hand of Kyron Johnson, who was able to grab some jersey and keep Mathis back at the line of scrimmage.
They've neutralized Kyron Johnson because they haven't been in pass situations. You know, he leads the team with 6.5 sacks, playing really well against the run also. But I think that you have to figure out a way to stop this West Virginia offense if you're Kansas.
8th play of the drive now for the Mountaineers. They've had some sustained drives tonight. Daggy will dump it down to Mathis. One-on-one, he spins away from the first man, but the pursuit comes in the form of Jason Gillian and Gavin Potter.
Yeah, Deuce Mayberry initially there, forcing Mathis to try to reset his feet, and that allows everybody to rally to the football.
And so another long drive for West Virginia, but this one will result in a field goal attempt as Casey Legg will come on. Legg missed from 44 earlier, kicking to this side of the field. This one is from 38 yards. Grayson Malashevich will hold, and Austin Brinkman with the snap. And that one is good. So, points for West Virginia in a game they gotta win as we tick towards the end of the third quarter. They're up by 10. 31-21 West Virginia leading here in Kansas with 32 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Evan Staley back out to kick away for West Virginia. His last kick went out of bounds, trying to avoid Kenny Logan Jr., the dangerous return man. And safety for Kansas. Can he provide a spark here on this cool Lawrence night? Last regular season Saturday night of the college football season. Pearson again on the short kick. Second time they've gone to him. And this is a good return out to the 39-yard line for Kyler Pearson. 14 yards, bringing it back.
It's interesting. You think about this Kansas team. We saw them last year, and they were struggling at that point. They haven't had the success from a win standpoint, but no one is thinking they can just easily come in here and chalk up a win like maybe they used to. This team is competitive. They're playing hard.
No. Less chalk, more rock chalk. Two tight ends in the game here for Amari Pesic-Hickson, who's got 3 yards on that carry. Again, if you're just tuning in, no Devin Neal, the star true freshman running back for Kansas, injured. 166 yards, 4 touchdowns against Texas. Last 2 weeks ago, injured against TCU, and so they're going to have to find a way here tonight without him. Lance Leipold, this Kansas team trying to close it out with a win. Jared Dagey threw an interception to start this third quarter to Gavin Potter. That tied the game at 21. Then the 2-point conversion, and Kansas was right in it. But West Virginia has answered, and there's 1 quarter between the Mountaineers and bowl season. Begin the fourth quarter with a 2nd down and 7 here for Kansas. Jalen Daniels looking to throw. He'll tuck it away and slide down, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and short. And speaking of Kansas basketball, there you see the name David Booth, Kansas Memorial Stadium. David Booth not only donated a bunch of money for the stadium, but he also purchased the original rules of basketball as written by James Naismith and donated them back here to the university to be displayed near the basketball arena. How about that?
Impressive.
This is Jalen Daniels on 3rd down, and he gets stonewalled by Sean Mahone. Daniels had a head of steam trying to turn that corner, and he got smacked, although they may be giving him. No, I think he's shy. They got 4 over there on the marker, so 4th down and short.
initially it looked like they thought it was going to be a first down, and Sean Mahone was a little bit shaken up after that play.
I thought he was short, but you can see Mahone there getting a little help as he walks off. That was a big collision, like you said. The question is, was it enough for him to prevent the first down? You can see he's got to get to the 48.
I don't think he got there. Yeah, it looked like it was short.
Really, it's the 48 and a half, it looks like, by that marker on the far side.
Jalen Daniels, I was just saying in my mind before this drive, hadn't really had a chance to run the ball effectively. And it looks like he has now said, okay, I got to take it into my own hands with my legs. Do an official spot here.
So let's get the measurement now. Will this be a fourth down upcoming here for Kansas is the question. And the answer to that question is no.
You got the first.
You got it. The second effort from the quarterback, Jalen Daniels. Well, you mentioned it earlier. This is what he wants. You can play 4 games in a college football season and redshirt. He had played 4 games. The plan was to redshirt him this year. And so Lance Leipold went to him and his family and said, look, it's up to you. What do you guys want to do? After the Texas game, your call. If you want to redshirt and come back next year with this extra year, that's fine. And they talked about it that Monday after the Texas game. Jalen Daniels said he couldn't imagine having that game be the last game that he played with these seniors, and Kwame Lassiter, who really took him in and taught him how to work when he arrived here on campus. And so he elected to play, and they're thrilled to have him. Here he pumps on first down. Pressure coming. He escapes. He unloads. Too high for Grimm.
And that's, you know, that play there is his youthfulness. Sometimes the ball will get away from him. But I think that's the part they like with him. He's not afraid to go out there and challenge. That first down was one, and here he's looking for an opening and able to get outside just a little too high.
Kwame Lassiter, the veteran, the elder statesman, senior day today, he said that before every game he tells Jalen Daniels, make smart decisions. Now those are his words of wisdom.
Spoken like a true vet.
Daniels going to keep it here. He's able to find his way across midfield. Out to the West Virginia 46.5-yard line or slow, but he is a little slow to get up.
Yeah, I think
Pick up 6.
And Guy, you said it best. Devin Neal not being here. He had 3 100-yard games or more. Duke, OU, and then Texas with that huge game, and got banged up last week against TCU. So they haven't been able to get the run game going, and it looks like they're starting to use Jalen Daniels in that run game.
Well, here now is the quick rush from the huddle to try and disguise, and that's not fooling West Virginia, and now it's fourth down.
Yeah, I think West Virginia has seen that enough now and understands, okay, the sugar huddle, go a little quick, and then come down working to your left and then trying to come back to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. I think they got the message from Jordan Leslie, the defensive coordinator. Make sure if Daniels runs the ball, we get hats on him.
And so fourth down and 3 now for the Jayhawks. 0 for 2 on fourth down in this game. Daniels to throw. Good pocket. And he finds Grimm for the first down. He was unattended. Now Grimm has more down the sideline, and Kansas converts.
Jalen Daniels does a great job with his eyes of holding coverage, knowing on the crossing route, Grimm is going to come out on the other side. Watch his eyes. You won't see it here, but he holds just enough, and Grimm does the smart thing, settle down by the numbers against zone, and then he's able to pick up a huge gain. But you didn't see Jalen Daniels. He looked one way and held coverage and then knew that crossing route was going to be wide open on the other side.
4 catches for 105 yards for Luke Grimm, the sophomore here tonight. Casey, the tight end, goes in motion again. Daniels under pressure. Finds the exit and is able to get a yard before he's pulled down by Dante Stills. And let's look back at that Grimm completion.
Watch his eyes. He goes over to the other side, knowing that the ball is going to come out over to Luke Grimm. It's just a subtle thing, but you talk about throwing guys open. That's what it looks like. Understanding, okay, I don't need to look over there. I know he's going to be there. Jared Casey pulls people over. He comes over, sits down, and he's able to just easy throw and catch.
West Virginia coach Neil Brown told us today, watching Jalen Daniels, he really feels like you can see the confidence on his teammates that he brings. Here's a trick play on the end around to Trevor Wilson. Wilson's got the corner, and he's got another first down, pushed out at the 10-yard line.
Another one of those Buffalo transfers that makes plays. Was doing a lot of stuff earlier. And right here, look at Jared Casey. Look at the blocking out there with the other tight end. But nice play by Trevor Wilson.
Pick up a 14 yards. West Virginia just can't get away from Kansas.
No, they can't.
A first down and goal here for the Jayhawks. Daniels wants to throw. He wanted Casey, who fell down, and it's intercepted by Josh Chandler-Samito. The first interception of the game for Daniels. He was looking for the tight end again. He was wide open last time. He was well covered this one.
Yeah, went to the well too many times, and that time that was really good coverage by West Virginia. They knew that he was going to try to go there again. Look at 7. Clear out, look him up, stay right there with him, and get the interception.
Josh Chandler-Samito with the interception in the end zone. You know what that means? It means he earns the turnover Miners helmet.
I love it. Get the hard hat, put it on so your fans can be there with you. He's played well all night, been doing work.
I don't see his fans in that shot, though.
Well, hey, whoever's there.
That's why he's wearing the hard hat, because it's dangerous down there. So West Virginia now with a 10-point lead after the interception. And Tony Mathis Jr. breaking out, breaking tackles, still on his feet, down the sideline, and all the way to the Kansas 36-yard line. What a turnaround after the interception in the end zone, a 45-yard jaunt.
Yeah, Tony Mathis Jr., we talked about it earlier, just keeping those feet moving. Great blocking. Look at those guys up front, but a lot of this is him. Effort, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, just 5. He said, hey, who wants to tackle me? Show me that you can tackle me. After about 7 people touch him, he finally goes down.
Say this being Letty Brown's backup probably comes with a standard, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. Watched a lot of great runs. You're getting your chance now.
Tony Mathis takes that, and he might have just hit 100 yards for the game. He had 96 before that carry, and I think he has gone over 100 now.
He came in with averaging about 3.7 yards a carry, no touchdowns. But man, he's been working against this defense in practice. You can tell his offensive line is blocking for him, and even when he should be tackled for a loss, he's still finding extra effort.
Neil Brown looking for win number 6 to head back to the postseason. West Virginia went and won a bowl game last year. If they could win tonight and head to the postseason again, they would try to do something that hasn't happened in Morgantown since 2007, 2008, and that's win back-to-back bowl games.
Jeremy Robinson on that last tackle kind of got tired of hearing us talk about Tony Mathis.
15 carries for Mathis tonight, 100 yards on the nose after that last carry. They lost a yard. And here he gets a first down, or at least close to it. We'll see. He may need about another 6 inches, yes?
We talked about Neil Brown having an undefeated record with 100 yards carry. He's got 2 guys with 100 yards.
That's a good point.
Yeah, he's got to have a really clean record there.
He's got a 4th and 1 now. Daigie's going to sneak this himself, and he's got the first down. .250 rushing yards for West Virginia in this game. 271 sack adjusted. So you take out the sacks, and they've gone for 271.
You know, I like what they did, though. They settled down and said, okay, why throw the ball all over the yard when we have guys like Mathis and Brown who really have been able to run effectively in this offensive line with the tight ends. They don't use their tight ends a lot in passing, but they are effective blockers.
Winston Wright went in motion there. Here's Mathis. And he leaps over a defender, and he gets down inside the 20.
Just right there, TJ Banks, 85 on the outside with a nice block. And this allows, look right there, 85, and then, okay, I'm going to hurdle you. Woo. That was a nice job by Tony Mathis of setting it up. Romello Dotson thought he had him in his sights and couldn't quite come away with the tackle.
Well, the coaches said after the 33 carry game last week from Letty Brown, that was more than they wanted to give him. It certainly makes it easy to have him on the sideline when Mathis is carrying it like this. Rich Miller stops him in the backfield. A loss of about a half a yard. It'll be third down.
Rich Miller was about tired of that. He needed another TFL. But again, you have a two-headed combination of these two guys, and it looks as we inch closer and closer to the end of this game. If West Virginia can score again, it might put it out of reach of Kansas, trying to get the bowl eligibility.
Mathis had 37 rushing attempts this year coming into play tonight. He has 18 in this game. On third down, he'll get number 19, and he'll get stopped again. He ran up the back of Doug Nestor, the right guard, who was pushed back into him, and Gavin Potter, who's having a fantastic game. A fumble recovery, a sack, a pick six, and now that stopped to bring up fourth down.
And Guy, I think he saw Gavin Potter coming out of his peripheral vision. That's why he was rushing to try to run through there. Gavin Potter is talking straight cash trash.
Well, they forced a field goal attempt here, and here comes Casey Legg now, who is 1 for 2 today.
And that might be a win if they can keep it to just 3 points, because if the Kansas is still somewhat in the ball game.
37-yard attempt, and Legg splits the uprights. So another effective drive for West Virginia. 34-21 here in the fourth. .554 stand between West Virginia and Letty Brown and Tony Mathis of headed to bowl eligibility. Coming up next here on FS1, Cal and UCLA.
Who is that running?
Off. And that person on the left is the very svelte and athletic Charles Arbuckle. That's you.
That's me.
That's your signature.
Oh, man, I like it. Haven't seen that one in a while.
Do you know your record against Cal in your career at UCLA?
Were we undefeated against Cal?
You were. You went 4-0 against Cal.
We did go 4-0 against Cal.
Terry Donahue.
They always played us tough. They always played us tough.
13-point game here as Kenny Logan Jr. tries to insert some excitement in the final minutes of this fourth quarter. Kansas will not go away. They fought all night. I meant figuratively. There was a fight actually on the field literally after that play. Officials just separated two players very quickly, but Kenny Logan Jr., a 63-yard return.
They've been trying to kick away from him, Guy, and again, Kenny Logan Jr. is a key weapon right there, making guys miss, attacking the kickoff team with a huge return.
And so you mentioned it, Charles, after that field goal, it's kind of a win for Kansas, you said, because it kept it a 2-score game.
And every time they need a big play, it seems like Kenny Logan is around the ball and making it. Let's see what the offense can do.
First carry of the night for Malik Jackson, and he gets a yard. This is the domino effect, right, of no Devin Neal, so Amari Pesic-Hickson carries 11 times tonight, and so now Malik Johnson just had his first carry, the redshirt freshman from Texas, of his career.
Pesic-Hickson had a couple nice runs, but just really couldn't seem to break out. Trying to find someone to help get this offense going in the run game.
Daniels sliding and connecting with Johnson, who makes a man miss and gets up the sideline close to a first down. He'll be shy by a yard, but that was a nice move.
Yeah, very nice move. As soon as he catches it, Jalen just gets it out to him easily, and boom. Man, breaking ankles out there. Jared Bartlett thought he had him in his sights and just went straight down. Now it's 3rd and short. They have struggled on 3rd and 4th and short here lately.
Pesic Hickson is back in the game. They'll give it to him. And he's going to pick up the first down inside the 20 for Amari Pesic Hickson. No trickery there, as we've seen in a few short yardage situations.
No, and that time right there, he ran the ball effectively, and it was good. They needed that interior run guy, and he provided it on that play.
9-yard pickup, and we've got a player down for West Virginia. You can see him on the left of your screen. It's Scotty Young, down on a knee. Trainers come and check on him. Daniels, to update his numbers, is now 17 of 25 for 179 yards. The question is, can he lead a touchdown drive here late? With Young down, we'll step aside. 4:31 to go. Scotty Young able to walk off under his own power for West Virginia after the injury stoppage. Big possession here on 1st down and 10 for Kansas. 4:31 to go, down by 13. They can pick up a first down, as you see down at the 6-yard line. Jalen Daniels, the quarterback. Amari Pesic Hickson, the running back, who remains in the game. Daniels wants Kwame Lassiter. He's going to launch it to the end zone, and it's broken up by Daryl Porter.
Really good defense by Porter, knowing that he wanted to get he was going to get challenged by Kwame Lassiter.
The game within the game between those two.
Oh man, they've been going at it. Just not able to get it out there to him. Good job by Porter of knocking that down. Pesic Hickson has 60 yards rushing. That's really quiet, averaging 5 yards a carry as well.
Lassiter and Porter matched up at the top again. Daniels wants to go that way once more, and this time he connects with Lassiter. Porter comes up to make the tackle at the 11.5-yard line.
That was the one guy they knew they had to stop in this offense, and they shut him down since the first quarter pretty effectively.
Hurrying up now on 3rd and 5, and that's through the hands of Luke Grimm, and it's 4th down, but a flag comes out.
Simply in the area of holding.
Tashinda Salam, our referee tonight.
Personal foul, chop block, numbers 23 and 54. Offense, 15-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It's Amari Pesic Hickson and the right guard, Michael Ford.
Yeah, Michael Ford must have had him high, and Pesic Hickson coming low. 54. Yep, you can't be engaged up top right there and then come and chop a guy. They'll call that. And they used to didn't. Used to could do it.
There's a lot of things you used to do.
But you cannot do that now. If you're touching a guy high and somebody comes and cuts, they're going to call that penalty.
3rd down and 20 here with the clock under 4 minutes. Daniels is going to pull it down, and the first man to get to him was Mesidor. Deshaun Stevens then came over to finish him off. So now 4th down.
And they're at a point where they have to go for it. What you have to do is score, and then onside kick if you're able to score.
Kansas 1 for 3 on 4th down in this game. And Neil Brown's going to take a timeout for West Virginia before this play that I think certainly from his perspective, you say this is the game right here. Yeah. So 3 minutes and 23 seconds left. West Virginia's got to win to go to bowl season. Kansas has a 4th and 11 coming up. Neil Brown said it this week that he thought Kansas was playing its best football of the year. No disagreement there. And his team has come ready to play after his timeout. Kansas has a 4th down and 11 with 3:23 to go. The Jayhawks got to get this. Jalen Daniels looking to throw, has time, redirects, pointing, lofting, and he throws an interception. Picked off in the end zone for the second time tonight by Josh Chandler Sumito. What a game for the senior. He's putting up 2 fingers for 2 picks, and West Virginia might have just sealed his trip to the postseason.
You see 7 in the middle of your screen looking up Luke Grimm and just stays with him. And then he knows if he scrambles, I'm going to come at the back. He took that pick away from St. McLeod. Huge play. I mean, he looked like the receiver on that.
He did. He's the second leading TFL man in the Big 12. So he does all that dirty work in the backfield, and he's earned not 1 but 2 end zone interceptions today. And he gets the hard hat back. So now it's up to West Virginia to put this away.
See a healthy dose of Tony Mathis.
Kansas will use its second timeout here to stop the clock at 3:07.
Yeah, that 4th and 11 just set itself up for that defense to just kind of take advantage of it.
What a performance by this West Virginia defense in the red zone. His first pick came in a big spot. His second pick comes maybe as the last big moment of this night. Time now for our Game Day MVP, sponsored by Indeed. To hire your small business MVP, you need Indeed. And our MVP tonight, Letty Brown, his 3rd 100-yard rushing game against Kansas, part of a season-high 255 on the ground for the Mountaineers. Third down upcoming.
He was so effective in the ground game, and it set this offense up and kind of stabilized. Remember, when they had that turnover to start the second half, score was tied 21 all. Letty Brown went to work, and Tony Mathis as well.
Yeah, Jared Dagey is 16 to 21 today, but 16 of those 21 attempts came in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was after that pick. They decided to just put the ball in Letty Brown's hands, and then we saw a healthy dose of Tony Mathis. And when you have a ball club with Neil Brown, an analytics guy, right? They're 12-0 when they rush for 100 plus. They rush for 200.
Well, they've only thrown the ball 3 times since the pick 6 to Gavin Potter that tied the game. Kansas is out of timeouts now with 3:02 and a 3rd and 11 here. Mathis remains in the game, and he'll get it. Makes the cut back inside and gets tackled shy of the first down line by Jeremy Webb. And so now West Virginia will take as much time here.
The other big thing is they didn't mind condensing the game by using clock, because they're accustomed to this. They will run the clock and have time of possession. But in some games earlier in the year, they weren't winning those games. Now they're starting to hit their stride late in the year. It'll be interesting to see where they end up from a bowl perspective.
Kansas takes its final timeout.
You talk about so many games where they were in games and didn't finish. This is one where they'll be happy if they can hold on here to put this one away.
Well, Neil Brown said we really need back-to-back consistent efforts. Does this qualify as one to you?
It does, because you go back to the TCU and Iowa State back-to-back, and then they had those losses to Oklahoma State and then Kansas State, beating Texas and now potentially Kansas. That was what he was looking for, the formula of putting it together in consecutive weeks.
Tyler Sumter to punt this one away. A flag comes down, and that ball bounces just inside the 30, but there's a flag back on the other 26 as that ball was picked up by Lassiter. West Virginia has it, but once West Virginia touches the ball, Lassiter can do whatever he wants. He can pick it up, even if he fumbles it, it's still Kansas ball.
And Lassiter knows that as a
That's right.
a wily veteran.
Illegal formation, kicking team. There were more than 4 players lined up in the backfield. The 5-yard penalty will be added to the fair catch spot. It's first down, Kansas.
So 2:45 to go, no timeouts. And we have seen this offense go down the field, speaking of Kansas tonight, once to Luke Grimm for 40 yards, but that's about the extent of the downfield passing game.
And they've struggled in the red zone, like you said. They haven't been able to manufacture anything when they've gotten in scoring position.
A 13-point deficit for Kansas with 2 end zone interceptions in the second half. Jalen Daniels with no timeouts. He throws complete to Trevor Wilson. Kansas gets back on the ball very quickly. Now the second down. And that's Lawrence Arnold with the catch, and they're across midfield.
And as a young player, you're going to get challenged. And I think this is a good lesson for Jalen Daniels to understand how to fight through these kind of things.
Steps up, down the seam. Jared Casey has another, and he's down inside the 10-yard line.
And these guys won't go away, man. I mean, Casey on the seam route wide open, and Jalen Daniels finds him, and they're in scoring position.
43-yard connection. 3rd catch of the night for Casey. Daniels throws again to Casey. A one-handed catch, and he's kept in bounds by Alonzo Adai.
They just will not go away. This game is far from over. How quickly they were able to get the ball down the field.
Second one-handed catch in as many weeks for Casey. Now Daniels pulls it down. Daniels smells the pylon. He reaches for it, and he's across the goal line. Touchdown, Kansas.
Initially, I didn't think he got there. But, man, he just stretched out and scored.
A 59-second scoring drive.
Wow. Good block by Bostic there. And look, he just reaches. Oh, what an outstanding effort by Jalen Daniels.
He kept every body part that's relevant, knees and elbows off the ground. And what a scoring drive from the Jayhawks. Without a timeout, the 19-year-old sophomore, the future of this position, it's starting to look more and more like every week at Kansas, takes the Jayhawks down the field.
You asked me before the game, hey, can he continue to do it? And I'm watching tape like, yeah, he can. But this is also another reason why. They block people up, and then he just is going to have maximum effort at the end and get in for 6. Well, Bostic is on the edge, 68 blocking, and then Jalen Daniels identifies that no one accounts for him. And the defender is able to get there, St. McLeod, but too late. Look at that. Wow. That is outstanding. And held on to the football as well.
How do you practice that?
You don't practice that. That's just his athleticism.
A young man from Lawndale, California, responding to the 2 red zone interceptions with a great drive.
Critical piece now.
Kansas has not tried an onside kick this year.
Let's see if they're able to come away with it. If you're West Virginia, you have to be a little worried after the drive that just didn't take any time and able to just march down the field.
2 kickers out there, number 40, Tabor Allen, number 83, Jacob Borchilla. Allen is the normal kickoff man. Both of them are looking to the sideline. And now West Virginia is going to take its second timeout. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves here. But would Kansas go for 2 again? Well, they would need to. They're down 6.
Yeah.
That's a dumb question.
No, but no.
I leave math to Tom, the stats guy. Take a look at the total yards. 439 for West Virginia, 336 for Kansas. at 775 total yards of offense in a game where there have been defensive plays made.
Yeah,
right?
There have been, but that last drive, and it's almost like after the interception by West Virginia, their offense stalls somewhat, and then Kansas gets the ball and just marches down the field.
All right, so after the West Virginia timeout, Tabor Allen and Jacob Borchilla, both kickers still out there. Don't forget Cal and UCLA is coming up next here on FS1. It'll be Borchilla to kick it. Pops it up, and a sliding snag made.
That's the right.
2 touchdowns tonight and a great snag there.
That's why he's on the hands team.
And no timeouts for Kansas left.
Neil Brown talked about it, putting together back-to-back weeks of effective play. They had to be a little bit worried after that Kansas touchdown, but now it looks like Victory Neal is in their future.
Victory Neal, N-E-A-L, Neil Brown and West Virginia coming in knowing they needed 6 after the win last week against Texas and eliminated Texas from bowl eligibility the week before. They lost to Kansas, and so those 2 teams both coming in with confidence tonight. And West Virginia went to the ground game.
They did. And
they really,
you and I talked about it. Once they decided to do that, it just made it so much easier all the way around. Letty Brown, a key component of that.
19 carries for 156 yards for him. 22 for 118 for Tony Mathis Jr. And they did the heavy lifting in the second half after Jared Dagey lit it up in the first half. The quarterback who was coming off the week in which he was the Big 12's Offensive Player of the Week. After that performance, #1 in the Big 12 in yards, coming into play today, passing. And a lot of his work done in the first half.
You know what was interesting? Both coaching staffs talked about how would their guys respond. And you saw that from a standpoint of putting back-to-back weeks together with West Virginia. Kansas beating Texas a few weeks ago, losing to TCU in a close one, and then this week again. These are when you have a young program trying to figure out how they respond.
Well, Neil Brown uses the word strain a lot in this program, and Kansas gave them a lot to strain through today. But West Virginia got it done, and the Mountaineers are 6-6 and bowl eligible again.
More practice time, more opportunities to see Dagey and Letty Brown, but also this young team to get some more reps against another opponent.
And a Kansas program, no doubt, headed in the right direction. Still more football coming up here on FS1. Stay tuned. Coming up after the break, we'll send you off to Cal and UCLA.